Yo, what is good, yo? It's your boy Ty back here with another video. And in this video today, we are going to be doing the NBA 2K22 MyTEAM Awards, our first season, call to ball. Now, with the super packs today, that basically goes to show and concludes season 1 of NBA 2K22 MyTEAM. Now, was this season a good season? Was it kind of a letdown? I'll leave you that for you guys to kind of discuss. But with it concluding, we are going to be doing our awards where we're talking about the best defensive player, you know, the most inconsistent, all of the rewards in one video today for you guys. Now, if you are new to my channel and have not yet and love my team, please smash that subscribe button as we're on the road to 80,000 subscribers. So we're going to start it off here with the cheesiest player that did get dropped in season 1 of NBA 2K22 MyTEAM. Now, started off with Derrick Rose. Now, the reason Derrick Rose is on this is because he does have Hall of Fame quick first step. His release is very solid on both gens as well. Obviously, defensively leaves a little bit to be desired, but super fast in our first card that we saw with Hall of Fame quick first step. He kind of changed the meta, at least for me, into a rim running type of meta on both current and next gen. That's what I do, is I call pick and pop and run to the rim. Now, I do credit Derrick Rose for changing that for me. Kyrie Irving, our next option here. The reason he's on here is not because I love the card. I actually hated Kyrie Irving, but how many times I've gotten cooked by Kyrie Irving, or how many times I got cooked by Kyrie Irving early on in 2K was ridiculous. This Kyrie Irving card cooked me more than any other card in almost in history. This Kyrie Irving card literally cooked me on so many different occasions. Last but not least, Ruby Yao Ming. 7'6". 7'6". That's all that you need to say. If you just pick up the game today and want a way to score on offense, your best bet is probably getting the ball to Yao Ming inside, and maybe he'll get an open layup or something, because this dude is an absolute cheese. But for me, when it came down to the cheesiest card in my team, for the average player, it has to be Yao Ming. The dude is 7'6". 7'6". Are you kidding me? Imagine us getting a 7'6" Ruby card in season 1 of my team. Just absolutely ridiculous. Next up, we do have the defensive player of the season. Now, we're going to start off with talking about Ben Wallace. Big Ben Wallace. He's only 6'9", but on the flip side of things, has incredible speed, incredible lateral quickness. He kind of changed the way people thought about defense as far as centers. Brings something completely different. But obviously, his lack of offense is the reason you don't see a lot of people running him. Next up, we do have Wilt Chamberlain. Obviously, 7'1", 8-foot wingspan. And this Wilt just moves differently. His block rating's not that good, but he gets incredible defensive animations. Yes, he is an unlimited reward, so not a lot of people have him. But if you got Wilt and got him a little early on, he was an incredible defender for the entire season. And the primetime Grant Hill card is the last card I'm going to talk about today. I put Grant Hill on ball. I don't really have to worry about it. Grant Hill gets me stops. I'm a big fan of Grant Hill on the defensive end of the court. I like Grant Hill last year. I like him even more this year. And that says a lot about the card. All three of these cards are absolutely incredible on the defensive end of the court. But if you look at the lateral quickness and speed of Ben Wallace, as well as his defensive badges, I'm telling you guys, he is the defensive player of the season. If we do not account for what he does on the offensive end, we just talk about defense, find me a better defender in this game. Next up, we have the most overrated card that did get released this season in NBA 2K22 MyTEAM. Now, we're going to start off with Zach LaVine. Now, the reason I think Zach LaVine is overrated is because people run the card. And everybody's like, what, Ty? He's incredible. He has the Trey Burke base. Listen, Zach LaVine is 6'5". He can't play point guard. 6'5". I don't know if he has a defensive stat above 80. Defensive badges, terrible as well. Except we're going to talk about Dennis Rodman. And I know a ton of people love Dennis Rodman. And especially in the comp community, people love Dennis Rodman. But I'm going to kind of just ask you guys this. Why are you guys hyping up Dennis Rodman when Josh Smith is way better than Dennis Rodman? I understand Josh Smith does not have a rebound chaser, but Josh Smith is way better than Dennis Rodman. I get Dennis Rodman is going to get you stops in the interior. He's got Hall of Fame rebound chaser, but he's got the Dikembe Mutombo release, and I just don't see it with Dikembe. I might be fully missing out on something with Dennis Rodman, but until I see something different, just think he's overrated by so many people. Last up, Larry Bird. The reason I'm going to talk about Larry Bird being overrated is because you have to lock in so much MT. And it's not like you're locking in players for Larry Bird. If you were to lock in, the LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, at least you'd get something. You have to lock in signatures for Larry Bird. So it's not like you're even locking in the players. you're locking in signatures that you can't even use. Larry Bird, so overrated in this game. For me, the most overrated card in the game. And that's not me saying Larry Bird's not good, because Larry Bird is good, but you're just throwing away MT. Literally throwing it away for a card who is literally a spot up guy that can't do anything else on the offensive end. Next up, we're going to talk about our 3 underrated candidates, starting with Fred VanVleet. And I know a lot of you guys are like, Fred VanVleet's good. We know this, Ty. But if you guys didn't see me use Fred VanVleet, how many of you guys would know how good Fred VanVleet is? Not many people in the community use him. I don't come up against that many people using Fred. He is absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. Dribbling-wise, release-wise. He's just a little short, but defensively he's solid as well. He still plays on my no money spent squad account, and that goes to show a lot. Gus Gerard, the next guy I'm going to talk about, is absolutely fantastic. I didn't get him on my no money spend account. Got him on my road to 250K account, and it hurt me not using Gus in quals because I liked him that much. Release-wise, fantastic. Defensively, gonna get you stops. Gus the Bus will always have a special place in my heart. And Josh Smith, everybody knows he's good, but people still think Dennis Rodman is better than Josh Smith. It's not even close. Josh Smith is one of the best power forward centers in all of 2K. He's top 5 at either position. I'll take Josh Smith and compare him to anybody else in the game. He is that good and that elite. And so when it comes down to the most underrated card in the game, each and every one of these cards is underrated. But I got to give it to Steady Freddy. Next up, we're going to talk about the best token reward. We're going to talk about an amethyst, a pink diamond, and a diamond. Amethyst, Serge Ibaka. Let me tell you something. He might be the best overall token reward. And that's not this award. We're giving this award away to the guy who's best for their value. Let me tell you something about Serge Ibaka. That dude is absolutely fantastic. Good enough defensively. Maybe not the fastest guy, but I mean, can shoot the lights out. He is just absolutely fantastic. Dale Ellis, talk about a pure sharpshooter. That's what Dale Ellis gives you. One of the best pure sharps in all of 2K. Even decent enough on the defensive end. Look, he's not necessarily a top small forward shooting guard in the game anymore. But hey, if you're running Dale Ellis, he can definitely compete. And Kyrie Irving, again, the card that gave me probably the most headaches in general throughout this year has been Kyrie Irving. My head still hurts from getting cooked by that dude. But for me, another guy who still plays on my no money spent squad account is the Amethyst Serge Ibaka card. Card is absolutely fantastic. There's no other way around it for an Amethyst. Everybody who got him got an absolute steal. The budget MVP is our next award. We're going to talk about Jalen Suggs, Sapphire card, Ruby Landry Fields, and then the Amethyst Gary Harris. Suggs, super cheap. And the big thing for Jalen Suggs is when he came out, there weren't a lot of point guards that were cheap that could do what Jalen Suggs can do. Jalen Suggs is a card, even without badging him up, that can compete against some of the top cards in the game. I don't think he has handles for days. I'm not sure if he has quick first step, but he's a just guy that can hold it down. Ruby Landry Fields, jump shot 4 is a very solid release. You combine that, I think he's 6'7", can play the 2. Good 3-ball, decent enough on the defensive end of the court. Gary Harris, once he gets Evo, gets the Hall of Fame catch and shoot. A card that I run on my no money spent squad account. I would be lying to say it didn't cross my mind to run him in quals. He is that good. Amethyst Gary Harris is absolutely elite in this game. All 3 of these cards are cards that I would recommend if you're watching this video, you need budget players to pick up. They're all absolutely fantastic. If there's one I could recommend, it's the Amethyst Gary Harris. Dude is absolutely elite. Next up, Mr. Inconsistent, starting with the Dikembe Mutombo. What does inconsistent means? Cards that sometimes play fantastic for me. Other times I just don't know about. Dikembe Mutombo, sometimes when I use him, it feels like is the best center in the game and it's not even close. Other times I use the card and it's like, dog, can I get Anthony Davis or even Josh Smith out here? His release sometimes is super baited. So it really depends on who you play, how they respect Dikembe Mutombo. Either way, on the defensive end and rebounding, he's going to be fantastic. He's going to get you stops. I like Dikembe. I really do believe he's a top 2 or 3 center in the game. A card I still run, no matter what type of setting I'm playing in outside of my no money spend account where I can't afford it. Bob Cousy, a card I grinded for on my road to the 250K tournament. He's fine. Look, he's got some incredible shooting badges. There's some good things that he can do, but release-wise, it's just slow. It's easy to green, easy to time, but it's just slow. And that's kind of the one thing I will say about Bob Cousy. He's fine. His release is just kind of on the slower side of things. Last but not least, Pink Diamond, Russell Westbrook. Look, I did a gameplay with Russ, and the first half of the gameplay was terrible. And in the second half, he looked like a top 3-point guard in the game. Mr. Inconsistent to me is Bob Cousy. He, at once, felt like the best point guard in the game. The more I used him, the more baited his release felt. I'm just not sure about the card. Next up, we do have our best Evo, talking about Slick Watts, an underrated card in the game, Chris Boucher, and Gary Harris. All three of these cards do their own thing. I'm probably like Gary Harris the most out of all of them. Chris Boucher is a card that if you got in domination is a very good budget baller. And Slick Watts, man, y'all do me a favor. Look up Slick Watts and what he can do for you on the defensive end of the court. I know Slick Watts' release isn't good, but if you look up his Evo, tell me that Slick Watts isn't tough, man. Tell me the dude's not tough. I didn't get him, but tell me Slick Watts isn't tough. The MVP of Season 1 of my team is between 3 cards. Pink Diamond Chris Webber just got released, Diamond Isaiah Thomas, and the Pink Diamond Carmelo Anthony. We're going to start with Chris Webber. This dude's fantastic. And I love Anthony Davis. I love Dikembe Mutombo. But Chris Webber, I don't know if I would like him at center or power forward, but this dude can get it done at all levels. His release is just fine. I know the upper isn't necessarily the smoothest upper, but jump shot 22 is just fine. Diamond Isaiah Thomas, the flash glitch card. Again, another card I'm a massive, massive fan of. At the point guard position, by far my favorite point guard in the game. 2-way point guard, just absolutely fantastic. I do like IT a little bit more on cringe, and I'd say. Then obviously the Pink Diamond Carmelo Anthony. Level 40 award. I play him at the power forward position. He gets me rebounds, gets me stops, shoots the ball well, runs to the rim well. All three of these cards are fantastic. That's why they are in the MVP discussion. But for me, Carmelo Anthony, the MVP level 40 award of Season 1 of my team. Heading to our all-Ruby team between Damian Lillard, Gary Harris, Landry Fields, Darius Miles, and Siakam. I know it's tough, right? Some of you guys might not like Siakam at center. Some of you guys might prefer Yao Ming. Some other guys couldn't leave Siakam off the list. Started with Damian Lillard. Going through the Ruby point guards, Mo Williams was there, but I don't really like his release. Definitely Dame takes the cake. Shooting guard, an unevoed Gary Harris still is a top shooting guard in the game. It's just the way it is. Landry Fields plugging him in at the 3. There are some other guys that you could have argued for if you wanted to argue for a guy like James Worthy, those types of guys. Definitely can. Darius Miles at the 4. Jay Crowder, another guy that I thought about adding in here. But if I get one all-Ruby team, a Ruby team that I go into Unlimited with and try to go 12-0, this is probably the squad I come out with. Heading to our all-Amethyst team, starting with Steady Freddie Van Vliet. They're all, they're downtown Freddie Browns, another good Amethyst, Drew Holiday. It was a pretty stacked position, but for me, Fred Van Vliet is the card I went with. Donovan Mitchell at the 2 was tough because I personally don't really like Donovan that much, but I know how good he is and how useful he can be, especially if you know how to dribble. Kawhi at the 3 was over guys like Scottie Pippen, another guy I'm a big fan of, but Kawhi, just his release combined with the defense, he can be played in all type of competitive settings. Josh Smith at the 4, a guy, he's just an all-around player. Can shoot, can dunk, can't really dribble, but can do it all. KP at the 5 obviously is absolutely fantastic. So that's my all Amethyst team. KP 7-3, stretch big, nothing more you can really ask for. All Diamond team. This Diamond team is fantastic considering 4 out of the 5 here, and if I'd have locked in Larry Bird, 5 out of the 5 would have played in the 250K clause. Start with Isaiah Thomas, my favorite point guard in the game. Kobe Bryant, my second favorite shooting guard in the game behind Vince. Grant Hill, my favorite small forward in the game. Larry, a top power forward, small forward in the game. Then arguably a top 2 or 3 center in the Dikembe Mutombo. Maybe my favorite center in the game, depending on the day it is. All Diamond team. I know there's a lot of fantastic diamonds. LeBron James, for example. But I gotta give the edge to Larry Bird. All Pink Diamond team up next. Russell Westbrook starting off at the point guard position. You could have plugged in Walt Frazier if you wanted to. But I like Russ. I like his potential. I think Russ is fantastic. Vince Carter at the 2. Again, my favorite shooting guard in the game. Carmelo Anthony at the 3. Normally I play Melo at the 4. But I had to find a way to get Chris Webber and Anthony Davis both in the lineup because I am super duper high on both of them. So who would win in a game versus the all Diamond team versus the all Pink Diamond team? Let me know that down below in the comments. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe if you are new. And as always, man, I love you guys. Have a blessed day.